go live with the city councilors. Yep, Fall River Media News is going to go live with the city councilors right now. The city committee.
City council. City committee.
Cancel that.
Crazy committee or crazy city? The crazy committee.
Yeah.
The crazy committee or the crazy city?
Let me see where they are.
Well, I'm not getting any answers to what temperature I should heat the oven at, so I'm going to assume.
Okay. So what are you making?
I'm making you your chicken parmesan.
Okay, so heat the oven between 350 to 4.
Comes over because they're going out at CMH. I don't want to miss his call, God forbid, you know.
Yeah, so to add a channel, you always have to, you'd have to have a third channel too. So we do have channel 2 that's programmed on all of our radios. When we have an active fire scene, we put all other traffic outside of the fire scene onto channel 2. So all the EMS traffic, anyone who's not on that scene, fire, everybody who's not on that scene. So, and that is very important for that reason, right? So anytime we have firefighters in a burning building or in
Fall River Media News is live with the
we
city
have them
council
dedicated on their own channel. The
committee
reason
on
that
public
there's
safety.
pushback is because, just like Chief Furtado said, it's difficult hiring dispatchers and retaining them. And right now, if you had a dedicated medical channel, then it would be the same. You're pulling from the same group of dispatchers. You know better than anybody, right? So
my the way I look at this is it needs to be addressed where it has to start with dispatch, because that second seat, we're too busy of a city to put all of those calls on one dispatcher. And I've done the job, and I just happened within the past few months, I sat in there for a few hours and watched. And even if we add a channel, you only have one dispatcher listening to both.
Correct.
Right now, you have one dispatcher listening to 2 departments on one radio while putting out box alarms, while picking up the phone. It's just too busy, and it's contentious to me, because I don't want to see something happen where it comes down to a dispatch error because they're overwhelmed. And I think that is where we're at now with them, is they're overwhelmed. It just is what it is.
I agree. So after we spoke about that, I did a little digging into, yeah. So the cost for a dedicated EMS channel to start, you would have to add repeaters, upgrade repeaters. Just to upgrade the repeaters in the network build would be over 500,000 just to start. Then you have to get FCC licensing, construction of additional communication consoles, which that room's already tight. So that means building out a new room somewhere. So that's construction. And then, of course, additional staffing and manpower. So that would be an additional, I would guess, an additional 3 dispatchers we'd have to hire per shift, right? 1 per shift, obviously.
All right. Yeah. So something has to be done, because, like I said, God forbid we get something, it's dispatcher error because they're overwhelmed and something bad happens. When it comes to that, the public safety, the money really isn't an issue to me. It's just the plan or the strategy to come up and rectify this. There has been conversation, obviously, recently with the EOC, the Emergency Operations Center, and having a backup facility for dispatch within that. So there are a lot of ideas going around. I just filed a resolution pertaining to it. So maybe we can address all of these issues, including the radio issues, when we address the EOC in general. But I just wanted to bring that up, put it on the record that it is something that has to be entertained.
I agree that they're, I agree that they're busy.
But that's all I have. Anything further? A motion, actually, Chief Bacon.
If you're interested.
Yeah. Oh, we
So-
can just,
Well,
we can end it right now. Go ahead.
we'll start with the blizzard. I just want to thank everybody for their support, especially members on this panel and the entire city council and the city for their support. I believe that the public safety departments worked very well together in the EOC and in the field to make sure that the citizens were protected. Having said that, I spooled up to 50 as my manpower from 38 from the time the first snowflake started to the Saturday after. And we submitted $80,000 in overtime through to FEMA. Hopefully we get some of that back. But just to give you a perspective on what that storm cost us just in overtime. Since then, we've put 11 members. You were there the other day when we swore them in into the company, and we have 9 that are taking the PAT next week in Stowe, and we'll be starting with us. Hopefully 9 if they all pass on April 6th. They'll start the academy on April 20th, and then they'll be in the company in the beginning of July. So that's going to alleviate some of the overtime burden that we have. It's going to slow things down a little bit for the firefighters that have been out there working understaffed, very understaffed since August. Just a few training things that are coming up. We're hosting an oil spill mock drill with EPA in April over by the battleship. And we plan on using lessons. We've been working very closely with the Coast Guard and EPA with the tugboat incident near the Brighton Street Bridge. And we'll be using lessons that we learned from that to reinforce them during that training. We also have the 3 public safety departments will be represented at an active shooter and hostile event training at BCC in June. I think that's very important for all of us to work together for an event of that type. So since we last met, the only other thing I want to talk to you about is the apparatus. We acquired a 2017 E1 pump from the Easton Mass Fire Department. It's going to be used as a ready reserve. It's registered and crews are training on it. We're hoping to have all the crews trained up on it within a couple weeks to get it into service. We have members going to Michigan in 2 weeks to inspect the chassis of the new Engine 9. We're expecting delivery of that in June or July. And the new Ladder 4 has an anticipated delivery date of November or December now. Apparatus committees are also working on specs for the new Engine 2 and Engine 4. Engine 2 will go out to bid by the end of April and will be purchased before the end of the fiscal year. And Engine 4 will be purchased the next fiscal year.
You guys are busy. Very busy. Yeah, I don't really have anything for you. I know we have questions for the final item on the agenda tonight would be directed to you, but that's all I have for now. If there's a motion to table, and then we'll entertain this again in another few months. Motion made. I second that motion. All in favor? Aye. No nays. Thank you for your time, Chiefs. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Item number 9 is a resolution Committee on Public Safety convened with the Fire Chief, the Director of Financial Services, and the President of the International Association of Firefighters Local 1314 to discuss the need for a fire station in or near the Route 79 Duval Street Corridor Project neighborhood, as well as related costs and expenses for apparatus, staffing, and maintenance, adopted on January 13th to 26. State your name for the record.
Michael O'Regan, President 1314 for firefighters.
Thank you.
Emily Arpke, Director of Financial Services.
Thank you. I had filed this resolution, and with the waterfront development and us being down at Engine Company on Bedford Street, and that's been like that since 2009, I had some questions as to response once the waterfront is built up, other avenues as to how we can entertain maybe a new fire station as for, you know, a developer comes in, we had this conversation with the mayor, where maybe if we bring in a developer that would include some type of firehouse on the waterfront as part of his project, even to house Marine One, and get that boat out of the water. That boat's too expensive to be sitting in there year round. Even if we can get a developer to come down and put a dry dock for Marine One, or whatever the case may be. But this opens a conversation as to A, fire coverage in that neighborhood, and B, how can we capitalize on the economic development and try to bring in something to help us. So, Ms. Hopke, any ideas?
I know we had the conversation about potentially using one of the developers and maybe creating an incentive around something like that. It's definitely a possibility that we could explore. I think the biggest holdup on our end to really work towards any sort of plan in any direction right now is really knowing what the timeline looks like for the land to be transferred and when development could actually begin. Because whether we funded that internally or not, we really just need a better sense of what we're looking at for the properties to be transferred and what's really going to be going into them. And we don't have that quite yet still, is my understanding. So I think we are, looking at it and thinking about it, and hopefully with the new 5-year capital plans being a little bit more active, we'll be able to stay ahead of it as needed.
Okay. I just, even to add a police substation, along with the fire station, would be fantastic because it's all about cutting down response time.
I've been trying to ask you about the temperature
Mr.
for a while.
Logan, any opinions on that?
No,
So
yes,
375?
adding that
Okay.
amount of
Let's make
people to
sure.
that small area, we're already stressed and taxed beyond our ability to perform simultaneous incidents at the same time. And in the history of this department, since I've been here, that has been one of the things that we've seen in as examples of. We've had simultaneous fires.
Hey Google,
We had
35-minute
one in
timer.
Kansas City at the same time. We had a structure fire in the center of the city. Adding that many more in high hazards, and I sent you the information that we had a high hazard occupancy, which all of those would be because of the amount of residents. We can't deal with it. We're at single digits or 0% as far as on the GIS study with what we can do in a high hazard occupancy, and it's just going to get worse. The cuts that we took in the apparatus years ago that were never restored. It seems unsustainable to us. I mean, and I said this to you earlier about the increase in the population of the city. Anybody who thinks that the city is not really needs to have their head shut. There are more houses. The mill is converted into an apartment building. Those are all high. And our call volume just continually increases, yet our staffing and our pieces don't. So adding that amount of not only occupancy, but traffic, people, potentially for incidences to happen, waterfront. We need a station down there. I mean, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Given the opportunity of the city of Florida to close the station to move a station down there, which will open up a gap once again in the city where that coverage map shows where exactly we're lacking the station. In the north end of the city, the south end of the city, a lot of
Talking
places
about
where
the fire
we're
station.
not making it in any sense of like adequate time. And even with that particular area, how they're developing that, we're going to have a hell of a time trying to get down there for anything, just because of the traffic. So putting a station down here with additional apparatus and additional is not only wise, it's probably too.
Yeah, I agree. And to minimize it, I said to bring in a building that was big enough to house, let's say, Rescue One and Marine One, because it's the staff of Rescue One operate that piece. It would probably make more sense if we would ever entertain this to be just. I wouldn't even touch the location of the center fire station, obviously, due to response times and the paperwork that you had given me. I'd have both. I prefer both. And that way when we don't need to use engine 2 or maybe in the future engine 3, whatever the case may be, they can, stay in quarters if we have an emergency on the waterfront. We can just use that one station as a response, as a SWAT. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's definitely worth entertaining. And as to where we're going to ask that it's part of the process and won't cost us anything, might be even better.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, there's no secret if we can do it without it costing us anything, I will take that. But it's also about making sure that it's the right thing, it's the right
Yeah, of
fit, and
course.
that we have what we need. So, if that requires us to pay for it, I think just having the conversations early and planning for it, we can definitely handle it. I don't disagree. If there's a need for additional manpower to go with it, none of that stuff is something I could tell you or disagree with on what the need is. It's not my area, so I'm here to fund it as long as there's data, and studies that can help us support the arguments. We'll make sure we do what needs to be done.
Okay. Chief Bacon, thoughts on it?
Yeah, so I just presented with you the closest one that I could find just opened in Somerville, Mass. It's a 3-bay, 10,000 square foot station. It's in says it in here somewhere, but Assembly Row, I guess, in Somerville was a new development similar to what we're doing down here on the water. And so that worked out for them. They got in with the developers early in the planning stages. It took about 10 years for them to get from the planning stages to the station actually opening. But I think it's an interesting idea. I look at it though that we need 2 stations, right? So Stanley Street needs either a full remodel and addition, or we need a new station to serve.
Yep, I see it.
And a station on the waterfront, right? So
Yeah, I see the video.
to do because we're
I see the video.
is to have a study done with where the best location would be. If
Yeah,
we're going to
really.
add a station and replace Stanley Street, we got a lot of gaps between
Yeah.
Stanley Street and the North End station, right?
Somebody stealing on private property.
So I think it's actually a great spot. You have an opportunity now to put 2 stations strategically located where we can eliminate the gaps that President Reagan was talking about. And I think,
Yeah, well,
and I think
I'm gonna,
that, now's the time to do that study, whether you go with whoever the union utilized or whoever the city utilized. They both have the capacity to say, to look at plots of land that the city currently owns, controls, or the state or the feds, anything that might be available to us. I look at potentially even the north end of the MBTA yard, the laydown yard, right on North Main Street. Right there, you can jump on.
Yeah, that's private
Yeah.
property. It's not
So
supposed to be
there's
on
a bunch
private
of different
property.
places that we could look at, and we could have all those spots plotted to see what would work best and what would provide us with the best coverage. I think now's the time to really be forward thinking and get that part of it done. So then, we
Yeah,
can
he
make
doesn't.
actual
Yeah,
decisions
he's
on
not
that.
supposed to go on private
Our
property and
concern
steal
is
stuff.
that we're going to build stations, but we're going to have trucks in it that are just spares. And that seems to have been like the
That's
trend of
stealing.
the last decade. Is we fill them up, and the general public goes by and sees, oh my God, the fire trucks are there, but they're all
Yeah, he's stealing. He's stealing.
The Flint used to have 2 pumps and a ladder. It's down to 1 pump and a ladder, and sometimes that ladder.
Yeah, you know what?
Someone used to
I'll
have
play
2
that.
pumps,
I'll play that video.
Now 1 pump and the scope is gone.
I'll play that video.
And you incorporated 2 ladder companies into one, and that goes up on.
All
Stanley
right.
Street,
Yep.
which-
You're on live right now,
which
so.
is a behemoth truck which serves almost no purpose in the city at all.
All right, I'll play that video.
Some of the roads in the city. Believe me,
Okay.
I know.
Bye.
We need that extra ladder company, and that was the ladder company that was at Stanley Street, Ladder 5. And we need that a supplemental engine company, which was down the center of the Flint, into a station. Even if there's a delay in say 5-10 years in building a station, we still need that online. And we got problems with we're trying to get the rest of the staffing up to minimum standards. And the reason we talk about minimum standards, and I think the public should be incensed, is that the general public is not even worth minimum. And what we're asking is minimum for. If you see that study that we gave you, that study says that in these high hazard areas, we should have 6 guys on a truck, 6 firefighters, and we're barely making 3, and sometimes 4. and the hiring and all the other problems that come with it. I mean, this is not rocket science, right? If you value public safety, you make it a priority, not, crazy projects and everything else. You prioritize this because these are people's lives. We don't hit a reset button if something happens. And conversations and worrying about money. I mean, instead of being funded last, we should be funded first. We've been taking the crap end of the stick for so long now. I think we've had enough, and we can't do another Gabriel House or worse. But it's coming. And I said this before you came in on your term. I came to this council and I said that. And a month later, we had that. And I'm here to tell you again, something else is going to happen because that's what happens. And we need to do something about it because I think the people in the city deserve better than minimum.
Yeah, no, agreed. Council Campbell.
Thank you, and thank you for coming down, discussing with us. The mayor had indicated that I think he was taking the staffing, the minimum standards from 32 to 36, not quite the 40 that is the minimum. But your report that you provided us dated January 5th notes that we are still only at 32, if I'm reading this correctly.
Our optimum number is 44. That includes the what they call the DCAs, as well as four firefighters across the board. So right now we have our 6 pumps with 4. When everything is good, we still have the 3 ladder companies that have 3, and the heavy rescue, which is an extremely important piece, with 3. The DCAs are even more important, given the fire at Gabriel House, where I was basically assigned as a DCA because we didn't have enough guys. We didn't catch everybody. We didn't catch all the windows, and that's how important it is to have a DCA. Is he's the eyes and the ears of the DC, and if he doesn't have somebody to help him, then he doesn't see everything. And if he doesn't see everything, things happen, and guys get killed, civilians get killed. DCAs are one of those things in 1710 it's integral. You got to have them. That saves people's lives and then saves firefighters' lives. And so as working towards 1710, we would like to bring those numbers up to where we used to be. And we're still short from where we were when I came on. We had 250 guys. And now we're down to about 180.
190,
190?
194
Well,
is
with the
our
new people
is-
coming in.
Yeah, yep.
So we're still short that much. And even back then, we still didn't do 1710 standards. And I mean, they're standards for a reason. They didn't just come up with this stuff because the unions wanted to hire more firefighters. They came up with this stuff because this is where the experts come in and say, this is what saves lives.
All right. Do you yield, Council?
One more question for Emily. What is the estimate? Have we looked at this resolution talks about the related costs that would be incurred by the city? In a perfect scenario, we would have the developer fund it for us, right? But outside of that, what is the cost to put one up?
I don't know. I don't have that in front of me off the top of my head. I can tell you though that again, not having a timeline of when we could actually even start developing anything, it makes that number a complete guess because every year you go out, the cost is just going to increase. So without that timeline, it can't give you a decent, estimate on that. I don't know if the chief has any numbers on what it costs to build a station, but right now we could get a number on what one was built for today and we can give you a rate to inflate it by for each year that passes. But otherwise it's a shot in the dark.
Just as a point of information, I've looked since this conversation has come up, and it seems to be anywhere from 15 million on a low end to 30 million on a high end. Seems to be the price.
Is 30 million just for a station or is that for like the whole public safety centers? Because those
So,
ones I know are
Yeah,
upwards
the
of
one that was on the $30 million side was more of a public safety complex,
Right.
where 15 million was your bay with your 3 apparatus, just
Right.
very standard. But that seems to be roughly what the cost would be now.
Right.
I know Taunton is building new stations. I think they're building 2.
Mhm.
And they're comparable. I think they're going to be multiple apparatus, ladders, and pumps. But I can do some checking and call around and ask and see what the final cost on a lot of that stuff is. And I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Well, you got counsel.
That's good.
I think, do you guys have anything else pertaining to the topic that you'd like to add?
Nope.
What we'll do with this is I would recommend, I would make a motion to table.
Motion
And
table.
then, you second that, Counselor?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought I should make it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Motion
motion, I'll
table.
second it. And we'll entertain this once information is a little more clear as to whether or not the city's going to own the property, state, joint venture, and then start to entertain it there. I just like to lay the groundwork for this now, so there's a proactive discussion into it. And when that time comes, we're hit the ground running. So,
In the meantime, I'll reach out to JB Consulting, who did our study, and get a price from him on how much it would cost to
excellent.
do that next phase.
Perfect.
And we'll see if there's an appetite for it.
All right. And that's all I got on that topic. And
Motion to adjourn.
yeah, so a motion was made to table item number 9, and I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No nays. A motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn so made. I second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, that's it for now. That was the that was actually the committee on yeah. That was actually so that was actually the committee on public safety. They're talking about putting a fire station down by the waterfront. So that's what they're doing, and removing the fireboat out of there, because I mean it's been down there for so long. So now they're working on a fire station now too. So but I also have other stuff that I want to play on Facebook, because somebody's been going around stealing toys out of people's yards. So I'm going to put that up, and I'm going to put that up as well. So I got to look for that now. I think that's basically on Facebook. I know I put it on Facebook. So there it is right there. So there it is. There is that. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here, and yeah, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to share the screen. And wait a second. I have to go back to Facebook. Yeah, people are stealing. Yeah, they're coming in. They're stealing toys and stuff. Look at this. Look at this, man. This is crazy. Stealing kids' stuff, man. Look, out of people's yards. They got caught. Man, they got caught, man. Look at it. Fall River Media News. That was emailed to me a little while ago. Stealing people's stuff out of the yard. Imagine that. Wow. That's crazy. Stealing people's carriages and everything, like kid stuff. Look. Oh, this is nuts. Hey, stealing people's stuff, man. Wow. That's kids' toys and stuff, man. Why are they stealing people's stuff? I mean, it's not theirs. It's right. It's right on private property. Wow. This guy too with the red hat. Yeah, stealing the kid stuff. Stealing their toys. God, these people got some nerve, man, of doing it. Wow. These people got some nerve, man. They even go right. They even. That's it. Look, they even go. They even go right in the yard and steal. Probably not knowing that they're being recorded. They're on camera out around Fall River Media News. This is like crazy. Wow. Out around Fall River Media News. Stealing stuff. Wow. And this is just video playing over and over again. With people walking into people's yards, okay, walking into people's yards and stealing kids, toys and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Scooters and things like that. Wow, they got some nerve of doing it. Wow, they got some nerve of doing that. Wow, stealing people's stuff. Wow. It's unbelievable, I mean, that is unbelievable. I never seen anything like it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even people's properties, they walk in and they start stealing people's stuff. Wow. I'm surprised. Well, when people see this, people will be calling the cops now. So, if they see this video, if anybody knows any of those people, I don't know them. But if anybody knows those individuals, going into people's backyards and stealing, they're stealing somebody's stuff. They're stealing, kids' toys out of the yard. Okay, private property. Look at that. Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing how people are doing this. So if anybody knows them or recognize them on that film, they need to be turned into the police department. That's what they need to be turned in. They need to be turned in and arrested for trespassing. You know what I'm saying? On people's property. So that is that for that video. It's amazing how you actually see people share videos to me and asking me to play it on Fall River Media News. So I played it on Fall River Media News, but it's also on Fall River. It's also on Grew Up in Fall River too. I mean, it's amazing how these people go around and steal people's stuff. You know what I'm saying? And stealing scooters and stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing when you see that. You know what I'm saying? nothing more ever surprises me, you know what I'm saying, on what people do, these days, you know what I'm saying? People are hot up for money, you know what I'm saying? People go in your backyard and steal your grill out of your backyard, you know what I'm saying? This is how people are, you know what I'm saying? Just to make a buck, maybe get a fix in their arm or something, or maybe buy some booze or something. That's what they'll do, anything to get money. So that's pretty sad. It is. It's horrible. And I really don't understand why they do it, but and over here, there was actually something. Yeah. So there is just to show people what's going on, with Popeyes. Popeyes is moving. Moving into Popeyes over there. Right. Down there, so. Yeah, so Popeyes from Pleasant Street is moving right here. That's where it's coming. Yeah, Popeyes from Pleasant Street right here. Yep, Popeyes from Pleasant Street. Moving right here. Awesome. Yeah, well, that's the end of that video. But when somebody when somebody is stealing stuff from people, are stealing kids' toys, private property. Wow, unbelievable. I will be playing. I'm going to be playing that video again because I'm trying to figure out who is that dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out who the dude is. I really want to know who it. Trying to figure out who that dude is right there. I'm going to take a look at it because I really want to know who that dude is. He's going to steal people's scooters. Yeah, people's kids' carriages, man. Brand nice scooter and everything. Come on, man. What the hell? Trying to find out who this dude is. Well, the video is going to keep playing, so I'm just trying to find out who this dude is. Come on, look up. I want to see your face, dude. want to see his face. This guy here ain't showing his face. Come on, look up. I want to see your face. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fall River Media News. I'm your host, Dave B. Well, today, this morning, I'm going to come on and talk about Wow, these people got some nerve doing this. Man, people got some nerve, man. Wow. That is pretty sad when you're that desperate and stealing somebody else's stuff. Wow. Okay. Well. All right. Well, that's the end of that. So, all right. I'm going to look for something else to watch. All right, everyone. I'm going to go and see if I can find something else. Crazy. Oh. Well.
Hey Google. 15-minute timer.
All right. All right. So, wow, that's kind of strange. When people stealing from other people's property, and and taking stuff that doesn't even belong to them. That's a shame. That's yeah. So I'm gonna look for some more stuff to talk about. And let me see what else I got here. Let's see what I got over here. See what else to talk about here. Tonight's probably not going to be a whole lot. Yeah, probably not going to be a whole lot of stuff to be talking about tonight. But still want $800 for the bike. Regardless if I fix it or I don't, yeah, I want $800 for it. So let's talk about some missing people. You know what I'm saying? So but anyways, I'm not going to stay on long. So and just wanted to come on, do the city council thing. My brother showed me the video of somebody stealing from people's yards and stuff. So yeah, it's a shame. So if anybody recognizes any of those individuals going into yards and stealing items out of people's yards, I mean, stealing people's toys, kids' toys and stuff like that. That's not, it's, I mean, it doesn't belong to them. You know what I'm saying? It don't belong to them. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't go around stealing people's stuff like that. So you don't go and do that, because I mean, it's not your stuff. You don't belong going to people's yards, private property, stealing people's stuff. I mean, people pay money for that. People pay money for their kids and stuff to buy that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Kids' scooters and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, my thing is, if you see something in the yard, you go knock on the door. You know what I'm saying? Go knock on the door, ask for it. If they say that they want it, then you leave it alone. You just don't walk on people's property and decide to take whatever you want, because it's not right. Okay, it's not right to do, because if somebody came in my yard and took stuff out of my yard, came on the property over here, you know what I would be doing? I tell you what, I wouldn't. If I see it, I call the cops and have the cops come by and deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I would do it. You know what I'm saying? But other than stealing people's properties, they shouldn't, and it's not right. It's not right to do. So that's it. I mean, hey, it is what it is. People nowadays are desperate for money, so they'll go. They don't care who they rob from. They don't care who they what they do. They will actually go on people's property. So if anybody recognizes any of those people, those two guys, they need to be reported, and they need to be turned into the police department, because it's not right. That's stealing. Okay. Regardless, it's not yours. You don't steal it. Okay. You didn't buy it. You know what I'm saying? Then you leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's the bottom line. Okay. Bottom line. Okay. You can't just go, waltzing into people's properties and thinking, okay, you know what? Hey, I can go and steal this. I can go and steal that. No, you can't. Okay. You can't. It's against the law, okay, to walk on people's properties. Don't they realize that nowadays everything's being recorded, everything's being on film? They don't realize it, okay? Oh, nobody's going to film us. You know what I'm saying? Well, it is. So that video got sent to me anonymously, and anonymous. So, and they asked me to play it, so I played it. So, like I said, you can't go around stealing from people's properties. Okay, it's stealing. It's against the law. You're actually breaking the law by stealing. Okay, it's not yours. Leave it alone. Okay, and that's it. Those toys, scooters belong actually to for the kids and stuff. Okay, it's not yours. Okay, it's bull. Okay, I mean, if you think you can go on people's properties and people are not going to record you, okay, or if you're not going to be recorded, okay, but I'm going to tell you something right now. There's cameras everywhere. People are watching, and you know something? Boom! Right now, it's easy for you to get caught, get locked up, and go to jail, and get processed and everything too. So it's easy. So nowadays, all cameras. Okay, you're being filmed. You're even being filmed walking on the street. You know what I'm saying? You're even being filmed in a bus station. You're being filmed on the bus. Okay, so if you don't behave yourself, you get caught. You're gonna get caught, and that's going to be the end of that. And then you're gonna be locked up. Okay. So, with that being said, so today that was City Councilor Chris Peckham. City Councilor Chris Peckham. He was live on public safety. He was actually addressing the public safety and everything. So it looks like everything's going to be on track. Fire department's going to get a new fire station. They're going to get it's been tabled, so they're going to get something. They're going to put something together for the Fall River Fire Department. So, but again, if anybody recognizes those two guys, then you call the cops, man, because they are stealing, they're robbing, and on people's properties, which is they shouldn't even be doing. So, anyways, take it easy, guys. I gotta go. Gonna have myself some dinner. And I'll talk to you later. So take it easy, guys. Have a great day. This is Dave Mead, Fall River Media News. Looking forward being back again and talking about more stuff and talking about more stuff. So take care.